This is my very early Season 1 tier list. This tier list is simply my opinion. I have gathered suggestions and help from other very, very high elo players as well to formulate this tier list and place the characters where I will be placing them. So firstly, I'm going to be starting with support. Now, to start off with, on support, we'll start with Adam Warlock, as he's the first one in the list. So Adam Warlock, I would kind of put him here. He's only really good because of other characters. Like, he's good in like res meta, and he's really, really good to like counter dive. He just provides a lot of sustain into dive. If you're playing into like a Magic or a Black Panther or a Psylocke, just nothing will die with his Soulbind. Honestly, Cloak and Dagger, I've had a couple of my friends say that Cloak and Dagger is overrated, but I disagree. I think it is actually OP. And the reason I think that she's OP is just the amount of utility that she has is insane. When she's in Cloak form, she's got the blind, the damage, the immortality, and when she's in Cloak form, she just provides so much healing, and it's so difficult to miss your daggers to heal your teammates. She just provides so much, plus the buff that came through for her this patch to provide her with more for her ult to just completely take over any point, and I would honestly leave her as just being overpowered. Now the next character I have is Rocket. Rocket I would probably also put here. He's only good if he's paired up with like Bucky or Punisher, because they're very good right now. Outside of that, I think Rocket Raccoon is actually really bad. He just doesn't provide a lot of sustained heals. It's very minimal healing that he provides, and it's mostly healing over time, slow healing over time. And I just don't think that he's very strong. He doesn't deal a lot of damage. It's very hard to get a lot of value off of. For Mantis, I would probably put Mantis at mid. I don't think she's all that good, but I don't think she's the worst pick in the roster. I think her damage boost does still provide her with a lot of useful utility, but there's just better support ultimates available in the game. So I just don't think that she's all that good in comparison. For Luna, we all know where Luna's going. Luna's overpowered. Her ultimate is probably the best out of all the support ults, and she just counters so many ults in the game. It's unbelievable. She does so much healing, and you can get a lot of damage off on her with her E ability as well. Now for Loki, I would put Loki as just very good. He's very, very strong. He just has a lot of sustain. He's got immortality, so you just can't really kill Loki. He counters so many ults because, again, it's immortality. It's not something that can be out healed. It's complete immortality. If you stand in his field, no matter what, you will not die. Now Jeff, we all know where Jeff goes. We saw the statistics as well. Highest picked character in the game, lowest win rate overall. Jeff sucks. Jeff is awful compared to the rest of the supports. I mean, he's fun, we all love Jeff, but he is awful. His ultimate sucks. His healing is very mid. It's very long range, but there's supports that just provide more healing than what Jeff can provide, and then his damage is just completely mediocre. If he's dealing damage, there's a big delay between dealing damage and healing again, and it just makes it very difficult to get value out of Jeff. For Invisible Woman, I would put Invisible Woman up with Loki as well. I think she's actually really, really strong. Her ultimate is, again, massive heals, keeps the whole team alive, obviously providing the invisibility to your team and the slow effect for the other team. It's just a complete team fight winning ultimate that has so many uses. It makes it very difficult to recontest a point that you've already lost if an Invisible Woman has her ult up, because she can completely take over the entire point and it just ruins your whole team. Now, moving on to tank, we'll start with Hulk. I would put Hulk very good. Hulk is very good. He has so many different things that he can do. So much mobility. He's got a shield that he can provide to his whole team. He's very good in counter dive, peeling for your supports. He's very good as a dive character, just going in, looking for picks, looking for value that he can make. He can do so many different things, and then his team ups that he can provide to Strange and Iron Man is just a nightmare. It's a complete nightmare, and I don't know why they nerfed Iron Man, why they didn't nerf Iron Man and Strange, and they just decided to nerf Hulk with something as menial as they did. I just think he's very strong. Next up, I've got Cap. I would say Cap is mid. I don't think he's very, very bad. I think he can be very good in certain situations. He has a lot of mobility, and he's very good in dive, but I just think overall there's so many different better tank picks that you can do and that you can choose from that just provide more value to the whole team. Cap is kind of just like a thick DPS, and even then he doesn't do that much damage. Now, we all know where Strange goes. Strange is also in that OP category. He is very overpowered. He has so much frontline presence. It's so difficult to get past the Strange if he's not pushing up too far. The 800 shield does so much. He can block so many different ults. He completely counters Hela's ult, and he just provides so much sustain for his whole team, and his ultimate is unbelievably good, especially if you mix it well with his E ability. Now, next up we have Groot. I would put Groot in A. I've had a lot of people complaining about Groot being really bad and people playing Groot. I just think that they're wrong. I think Groot is really strong. His ultimate, every time I've seen it used, it wins the fight for the team. His walls are so frustrating, and they have too much health. The little wall's not that much, but the big wall just has way too much help. It has way too much health, and if your tank gets walled off by a Groot, it's game over. They're dead. Your tank is dead. That Groot has killed your tank just by placing a wall in between. He also has quite a bit of range as well to him, and he does a lot of damage. So Groot just clears so many of the tanks in this game, and how good he is. And I just can't understand how people are saying that he's not that good. Now for Magneto, I would also put Magneto in A tier. Now Magneto is also very, very good. He also provides a lot of sustain and frontline presence that Strange might be able to provide as well. Very good in combination with the Strange as well. He just holds so much space, and he holds the space so well. It's so hard to push into a Magneto when they're already in position. He's not too great at taking space, but holding it, he's probably the best tank out of the whole lot to hold space. Just his shield, his bubbles that he provides and that he can use, and he does a lot of damage as well. Compared to the other tanks, he does a fair bit of damage. So that's why I would put Magneto as a very good tank. Now I have realized I made a mistake with Cap as well. I was going to put him here, and literally, why are you playing this character? Because again, compared to all the other tanks, he's awful. He's awful. He's good in some situations, but he's awful compared to the other tanks. I think out of all the other tanks, like, why would you even play Cap to begin with? Captain America is awful. Now, next up, we do have Penny. Now, Penny, I would put Penny in mid. Penny is good on certain maps. She's good at holding space, and she's good at making it hard for teams to push into chokes. But there's not too many chokes that Penny is really all that valuable, and her ult is kind of mediocre as well in comparison to the other ults. It's definitely good for taking space, but you can very, very easily kill Penny out of her ult. And again, compared to the other tanks, there's just better picks that do more, that have better ult. Penny is just kind of stand still, shoot, sit in minefield. There's not really too much to Penny, and is not that good. Now Thor, I would actually also put Thor in mid tier as well. Definitely better than Penny, but also I don't think Thor is all that useful compared to the other tank. He does do a fair bit of damage, but it's quite difficult to get close enough with him to do that damage without like someone else to dive with you, without someone going in with you as well, especially being able to get enough damage quickly enough to kill someone past supports that are in this game. I just think that there are tanks that do the tank job better. Again, Thor is just basically a thick DPS, and he doesn't do that much damage. He's just very good at moving around quite quickly, so he's pretty good at peeling for your team, and he's also pretty good at looking for 1v1s with someone in the backline, or I guess flanking a lot with Thor is probably the best way to play him. He just, all it takes is, hey guys, there's a Thor on me, and your team to turn around, and he just kind of evaporates. Like, he's not that good. He doesn't hold that much space. He's good in certain situations, probably in the lower ranks where people aren't paying enough attention, but again, compared to the other tank, he's not that great. For Venom, I'll put Venom in. He's only good because of someone else. So Venom alone, just as a solo tank or like partnered up with like a Strange or someone that's holding space. Alone, Venom is not good. If he's got people diving with him, then he's good because he just doesn't deal enough damage on his own to get valuable picks or to take valuable space by causing disruption in the backline. Compared to the other 4 tanks above him, he's nowhere near as good. He's definitely better than Penny and Thor when it comes to being a tank and doing the tank's job, but only if he's got someone to help him out, to work with him. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will be uploading part 2, which will contain the DPS and the team ups in the next coming days.